So, first, I kind of want to apologize because lately I have been really caught up in a subject, and it has to do with enabling. And I have to say, I'm over it. And here is why I believe that I have said my piece enough on it. I have stated my beliefs, and what I am here to do is improve people's lives. And so, forward and onward, here we are. Now, spring and summer is upon us, and we know that the displaced populations are rising. And so we also know that in this we're going to have warm weather, breeds bacteria, and also breeds a lot of other problems. So I want to give some helpful suggestions, some life-saving gifts that people can give that are very, very helpful. And these gifts, a lot of times you will find communities that are not necessarily right along the strips, not the ones in Skid Row, not the ones that you're seeing right out there. These are the ones that are kind of tucked away, not necessarily in everybody's close vision, the ones you kind of have to look for, the ones that were like mine, the ones that tried to be safe, tucked away, and we didn't necessarily get a whole lot of supplies because of that. And it was much harder because of that. And I think that across the board, if there had been more communication, these supplies would have worked for a lot of people. Those along mainstream lines, those along the strip, those that were tucked along the little places. I think that even in the like tent cities and stuff, these things would have been very helpful. So, and like in California when they had the hepatitis outbreak. Number one, life straws. Water is a huge issue. Getting safe, potable water during the summer months in a lot of homeless communities is an issue. And we all know that baseline needs are food, water, and shelter. So one way to do that is to make sure that even if a person cannot get bottled water, they cannot get someplace that has, because a lot of times, even if you're drinking out of a public water fountain, that's dangerous. That's still, as we found out, promoting sickness. So the best way to stop some of these pandemics and some of these issues is to hand out things like life straws. Okay, so that's one. It was a wonderful gift at our camp. I have a life straw. It's in my hiking backpack. I had a life straw at camp, and we also had a Brita water filter, one of the pitchers, and then we had little water filters, and then we filled up at our water source. Another thing that is very helpful during the spring and summer months, healthy, juicy food. Food that contains fruits are great. As I've said in other broadcasts, dental is a very big deal among displaced people, the impoverished. It doesn't matter, homed or homeless. I'm going to tell you right now. Anybody in the lower echelon, lower middle class down, dental is an issue. It is very hard to get good dental. And so as you age, your teeth degrade. And so, if you're one of the people that are having issues, eating hard foods can be a real problem. And so on the streets, we see that this becoming more and more of an issue. And so people will hand out things that are really hard to chew and they can't eat it. And so nutrients are lost. And to keep people healthy, good things to hand out: oranges, bananas, things that are simple, healthy, full of vitamins, keep people going. Also, shelf-stable foods such as canned foods, things like that, I recommend more for shelters. They're very heavy, hard to carry around. If you're gonna hand out for camps and things along that nature, it really, storage is also an issue. Storage, you have very, very little storage space for any kind of anything. So it has to be relatively small. Think hiking, think backpack, because you got to think too, okay, here's another issue. If your overflow from your house starts going outside your house, they'll evict you. Same thing in a tent situation. If your overflow starts coming out of your tent, they'll sweep you. Yeah, the measuring stick is the same. You get evicted either way. It's just a tent is a much smaller place to have things. So people don't realize that a lot of times when they donate things. They will give you so many things that you can't fit it inside your space, and that actually becomes an issue because you don't want to say no, because in essence, at some point, you don't want to say no because you will need these things. And you don't know when the next donation is coming. You can't count on that. So you do want to save those things, but you don't have the room to save. It's not like you have an extra room for storage, but you need it because you know you're going to need that stuff in storage because you're going to need it later. It's really a strange catch-22 in the homeless sphere, or being homeless. It's rather strange. But you can't store things, but it's a necessity to store things because you're going to need things. It's odd. So here's the things in summer months. So water is huge. Life straws, wonderful. Food, fruits, things like that. Camping equipment. People don't understand that in this day and age, camping equipment in this day and age is made for glamping. It is not durable. Not the stuff usually that's done. It's just not durable. And so it tears very easily. So another great donation is sewing kits, like good quality needles, like sewing needles and thread. We use a lot of times dental floss is great thread, so we'll use the dental floss instead. But, old camping equipment is great. Things along that nature. Think about, here's the thing. Think about baseline needs, of course. Think about cool survival gear. And think about what would make a good quality of life. Instant coffee packets. Those little flavor packets that you get, at the fast food restaurants when they ask you what kind of sauces you want and you get like 5 extra ones on accident or something. Save them up. It's not very often that, seasonings are very expensive. So it's not often that camps are able to get seasonings like that. And after you eat rice and beans with no seasonings for a while, that gets old. So, those things are helpful. Little mayo packets. You can't have like a bottle of mayo because that's going to go bad. We ran into that issue. But, oh my gosh, so we started getting like the little mayo packets, and that was wonderful. That was amazing because then we could have sandwiches and stuff. So I started getting those for the camp. It's little stuff like that. Those are the things. But for sure, the life-saving stuff, that's the important stuff, because we are about to see with, you look at the projections of what's coming. And science is real, people. Climate change is real, and natural disasters are coming. And one of the secondaries of that is that there are going to be more internally displaced people. And which means we as people need to know how to handle that. And so these are some tips. And I hope you all have a wonderful evening, and I will talk to you later. Bye.